Views expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
When every second counts, count on Vital Care MedTrans. You do have a choice when it comes to ambulance service in this area. So when you call 911, ask for the best.
Wait a minute, are you Vital Care?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good.
State-of-the-art equipment and a well-trained staff who stand ready to respond to your call. That's Vital Care MedTrans, when nothing but the best will do.
Are we here, honeybee?
You're live.
Okay, folks, help me out for a little while because I'm woefully unprepared tonight. I'm Jerry Chadwell. I appreciate you watching. Remember, if you have to call 911 for any reason. Ask them to send Vital Care out to see you. Vital Care will take care of you. I've talked to a couple of their I don't know if you call them customers, patients, people they care for. Recently, and they said they wouldn't have the county government service, ambulance service out to get them. They will only have Vital Care. I talked to one lady, said Vital Care takes her 3 times a week to get her diabetes treatment, and said they're always there on time. They're professional. They get her there and they take her back home. So that's a testimonial from folks that I know. And remember the folks down at Jacksboro Meadows, I mean, that place, if you go by there, that place is hopping all the time. And to me, the benefit is all that stuff they're taking through there, sending out of the county, it's not laying on the side of the road somewhere. I think that's a great service. Plus, you take stuff down there, they pay you for it. I mean, it's simple. They pay you on the spot, not later on. They pay you on the spot. So remember these folks. Again, help me out for about the first 25 minutes. At 8:30, I've got Director of Schools Larry Nidifer, Director of Food Services Vicki Woodard, and Coordinator of this one is wild. Coordinator of Coordinated School Health Programs, Johnny Bruce, are all going to be here. The biggest thing I want to talk about with them, there was a conflict in the schedule last week. There was a mix-up. Big apologies went out and came to me. There was a mix-up on the schedule, and it just, so they're all coming tonight. Probably going to talk about a couple other different things, but the biggest thing I wanted them to talk about is the summer feeding program that is for folks, and it doesn't cost a dime. Doesn't cost a dime. So we're going to talk about that in a little while. So we got somebody to help me out already. You on the air?
Yeah, Jerry, Jim Slusher.
Hey, buddy.
Go on the WLAF website.
Okay, I'm here.
And the mayor is selling tax delinquent property. Do you know what the story on that is?
I haven't. The biggest thing I've heard about is this bear going on. So, what's going on with the mayor?
This morning, and I thought that was that Dennis Potter handled all tax sales.
Okay, I'm looking for this. How far down the page is it there, Mr.
Well, I'm trying to find it myself.
Okay.
It may have been taken off.
Commission forced to swallow more costs due to Justice Center. Would that be it?
Looks like it's been removed.
Has it been removed?
Anyway, there was a number of properties on there. Some of them in my subdivision, and
That the mayor's trying to sell?
yeah,
Well,
it's been removed, I think.
okay, the thing I've noticed about the mayor and the way they operate in that office is, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I know I've called them a couple of times, and I think you have too. they'll try to go ahead and do something irrespective of whether they're allowed to do it or not, to find out whether they can do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I mean, they don't find out, you know, they don't find out what they're supposed to do in that office as opposed to what they want to do. And maybe try to do something, and then, County Attorney Joe Coker will send them a little email, slap them on the wrist and say, you know, that's not in your realm of what you're supposed to be doing.
Well, that was on the website, but I can't find it now. That was on there today. So.
And I missed it. I usually check WLAF, and I've been traveling all day. We just got back from vacation, me and the warden and our youngest son. And, I'm just, kind of weary, but, and didn't see it this morning. I wish I'd have seen it. I'd have maybe copied that, but,
Maybe Honeybee can tell you why it was removed.
he ain't trying to sell your house, is he?
No.
Oh, okay. So, well, you never know what he might be trying down there. He's, kind of hadn't held true to form like we thought it would, had it.
It also says on the website, the commission forced to swallow more costs due to now open Justice Center. You know, what they give them, $900,000 or something like that last year?
Just for half a year, wasn't it?
Yeah, now they're gonna have to cough the rest of it
Now
up.
they're going to cough the rest of it up instead of, you know, Mr. Marlowe, if I remember correctly, sat down there and said, we're hoping the Justice Center, by bringing in state prisoners, that apparently it costs $75 to $80 a day to house these prisoners. The state pays us $37 a day to have them in here. Is that correct?
I think that's what it is.
And he was hoping it would fund the rest of the rest of what it cost.
Well, they were talking about it at the county commission workshop,
Right,
but as usual, you couldn't hear them talking.
right.
And Mr. Samitsky and I lodged another protest during the meeting that we couldn't hear them. But evidently there's a big mix-up on whether they're going to get any money or not, I guess. I don't know what.
On the new jail?
But you can't hear them in the meeting.
No, you can't hear them? Yeah, I remember, I was out of town, but I remember the last meeting I went to, we brought that up 2 or 3 times, and I think you were going to maybe possibly file a complaint about disabled hearing, or?
I told the deputy mayor that I was going to ask for an ADA accommodation
Right,
because you couldn't hear at the meeting.
right,
And Mr. Savinsky of the Journal Leader also asked them to speak up because he couldn't hear them.
right,
And I was advised by an attorney that a public meeting that cannot be heard is not a public meeting.
right.
That's exactly what he said to me. And I think the citizens of this county are entitled to hear.
Well, they holler all the time, they want you to come to the meetings, find out what's going on, and then when you get there, some of them absolutely refuse to speak in the microphone where you can hear them. They don't want you to know what they're saying.
Now, Mr. Bruce is coming on. You might want to ask him about that.
So, well, no, when Mr. Bruce comes on tonight, we're not gonna talk about any county commission stuff. So, we're gonna talk about school board stuff. If we wanna get into county commission stuff, we'll get into that later. But, no, we're gonna talk about school board stuff, because I'm interested in this, business about, the summer feeding program. I think people need to know about that.
Well, I think they do too.
You know.
Turn my red wagon over something.
So I understand that, but I'm not gonna, and I asked Mr. Bruce in under that criteria, that we would only talk about school board stuff, because to me, that is so important on that. And if maybe we can get into the county commission stuff later on, but we're not while he's on tonight. If he were by himself, maybe we would, but since it's got Mr. Nidifer and Miss Woodard's gonna be here.
What are you doing, starting church?
Well, somebody sent me a message, evidently the green screen's not working. Honeybee,
I'll watch for you.
are you watching on the internet, or you got it on TV?
Me?
Yeah.
TV?
Is the green screen not working?
Oh,
I've got somebody texting, I'm talking to Honeybee. Hey, Jim, I appreciate you calling, buddy.
alright.
Honeybee, I've got somebody text me that the green screen's not working, so, obviously you out there trying to watch on the green screen, you can't tell me we're checking us. She's gonna check on it.
It's working.
Is it? Okay. If somebody's watching on the green screen on channel 12, the website, give me a holler in here, let me know that it's working where you're at. I've got somebody text me here that says it's not working where they're at. So, give me a holler on that, let me know. But now Mr. Slusher had a point, and I've fussed about it here before, and I fussed about it at the county commission meeting. There are several commissioners that'll sit there. Okay, I've got one person text me, said it's working just fine. So, said it's working just fine, so maybe it's just we're in one certain area. I don't understand why that would be, but one person said the green screen on the internet is working fine. If somebody else is out there watching it, let me know, please. But anyway, when you go back to the county commission meetings and you sit there and you listen to some of them mumble, and that's what some of them do, folks. They sit there and mumble, and they will not speak up to where you can hear them. And even after repeatedly saying, "I can't hear you, I can't hear you, I can't hear you," they still won't speak into their microphones. They act like they don't even know what the microphone's up there for. Now, Mr. Slusher, has, I don't know if any of you, the ones that you've met him, you probably know Mr. Slusher has, I think, a hearing aid in both ears, okay? And he brought it up that there is a strict standard for disabled hearing at those meetings, that if he files a complaint, that they're gonna have to, it's gonna cost the county some money to enable that courtroom, set it up in some kind of a different way to able to make sure that he can hear. So all you county commissioners that wanna sit down there and mumble and don't have anybody be able to hear what you're saying, you're getting ready to cost the county some money. You're on the air,
You're not on the internet.
so the internet's not on where you're at.
No, and I live in LaFollette.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right.
So, did you hear that, Honeybee? Okay, so maybe we'll get, let me send her a message. She's went back in there doing something. We'll try to get that internet working. But now it is frustrating to go to those county commission meetings and sit there. Now I've got another person said it's working fine. So, but it's frustrating to sit there at those meetings. And well, let me just check it here myself. And I can tell you at least two commissioners that for years I've been saying, please turn your microphone on, please turn your microphone on, please. And they just won't do it, folks. It's just that simple. They don't want you to hear what they're saying. And okay. So, it kind of disenfranchises people from going to the meeting. Okay, now I've turned the green screen on here, on my set right here in the studio, and it's not working.
I don't know, honey, it's working over here.
Okay, I've got it. It said the content is currently not online. So I didn't know you was in there, honey, but I was talking to the TV. So let me punch it again.
I don't know, it says it's working fine, it's recording fine.
Okay, but it's still not on here. So sorry about that, folks. We'll do the best we can do. but apparently it's just not working.
It may be Ustream again, because we had trouble out here not too long ago.
Okay, Ustream messes up. By the way, what's the birthday, honeybee?
Geraldine Ward,
Geraldine Ward, what'd you say, she's 100?
86.
Oh, 86, I'm sorry. The honeybee's grandmother?
Yes,
Honeybee's grandmother, Geraldine Ward. Today,
yes.
86-year-old today. Anybody knows her, go over and pat her on the back. Do it easily now, do it gentle. Go over and give her a big hug and pat her on the back. Take her a birthday cake. So Geraldine Ward, wish her an 86 happy birthday. So that's Honeybee here at the station's grandmother. So anyway, it's budget time, folks, and you know, down there at the county commission, and you know, when I go, I certainly want to be able to hear what they're saying, especially when they're talking about, you know, I mean, right now they're talking about a 25% tax increase over what it was last year. We certainly want to hear them talking about that instead of mumbling down there. Let's see what we got. You're on the air.
How are you today, my buddy?
I'm good, buddy.
I got a question for you that I had for RL that I didn't really get clarification on.
Okay, I didn't get to watch his show the other night. We were up in Ohio, and we were having a good time, and I didn't get in to watch his show, so I don't know anything happened there, but I'll try to help you.
You didn't get on the internet and watch it? Come on now, he's probably over watching you right now.
Yeah, you know he is. He can, you know, and this is a fact now. I have fussed at him about this. You know he still only has dial-up service at his house.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dial-up service. You can't watch nothing on dial-up service.
I know it.
And that's being cheap.
I know it.
I've told him, I said, all right, you live up there in that mansion, you need to get some real service in that house.
He's tight with that daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, buddy.
Do you even have to pay for dial-up service anymore?
I think it is free. It's supposed to be. We pay for it for people to have it.
I think we do, and he takes advantage of it. So
We honestly do. But anyhow, okay, you know, like our taxes, our general sales tax here in Campbell County is 9.25.
right.
Okay, how come in Sevier County, in Blount County, that they can do 2.75 and we can't do that here? RL tells me that once you do it, you can't go back. You can't back it down. And I can see that happen. But I don't see no reason why you would want to go back down from it after you got it up to that point. That way it's a fair and equal tax for everybody across the board, because we live in a county that, without a doubt, there's a lot of government assistance.
So you're saying if I go to Blount County or Sevier County and I purchase something, the tax on that's only going to be 2 point what?
No, 9.75.
Oh, I thought you said 2.75, 9.75.
9.75, where we're at 9.25.
Well, we've had that on the referendum twice. That extra half a cent tax.
Right.
We've had that on referendum twice, and the voters voted it down both times.
Does it have to be a voter thing?
It does.
Okay.
It does. I have checked on that. I don't understand why the county. I mean, we elect the county commission to do that kind of thing, but no, that does have to be. If I remember correctly, and somebody out there may, you know, because I've checked on that. That does have to go. The voters have to vote that in, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I voted for it yes on both times it came up.
Well, I'm sure I did. I don't recall it being
Yeah.
on there, but I'm sure I did and would have.
And I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with RL's assessment that once you take it there, you can't back it down. I would think with another vote, you can back it back down, but that would have to be, you know, if the voters vote something in like on a tax, my understanding, the voters have to vote it out.
Well, I mean, like I told him, I don't know why that anybody would have ever wanted to take it back away.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because, I mean, it's just something that would help, and it's an equal.
Well, I'm sure election time, about half the people running would campaign, I'm gonna try to get this taken off of you, you know?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know, of course, you know, I mean, we've got, a county mayor that made all kinds of promises, and apparently he ain't living up to any of them.
Yeah, I tell you what, but I mean, I didn't agree with him going in, and I like him. He's good, and we rode up together and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for him, but I was afraid that we'd be in this situation because I asked him when he was on RL show, you know, I mean, what different he was going to do to in the position he was in, because all the things he was claiming and speaking were things that he could have done in the position that he was in before.
Yeah.
Oh, and he could never give an answer, it never did to me. You know, I mean, an answer to where he could help, you know, with the county's problems that we had, other than, like I said, the things that he could have done in the office that where he was at before.
Right.
Oh, but I'm afraid that we were stuck for 4 years, and the commission ain't no better, you know. I mean, so it's not going to work even if his you know, so he would come up with some ideas. I don't think a commission would be with him and stuff anyhow.
Right.
And I don't think that we got the right commissioners in there. I don't think we got the right minds that run for these offices.
Well, and unfortunately, that goes back.
PO that if they want to.
Yeah.
But it's just, we've got to get some brighter and sharper minds to run for these positions of what we do instead of the buddy system.
Unfortunately, it goes back to the good old boy. We're voting for you for the good old boy system. Now, let me give you an example in my district, okay? Where that good old boy system comes into play. I mean, you know, we've got, and I'm gonna just use my commissioners because it's my area, okay? And whether you agree they're doing a bad job or a good job or whatever, we've got one that's voted in there. He's taught half the people. He's brought them up. He's played basketball with them, taught them basketball, taught them golf, and all that. And he's taught them half of them. They're gonna vote for him just because he taught them. They have no concern whether he's a good commissioner or not. And I'm not saying he is or not. I'm just saying, that's what we do in Campbell County. We've got one commissioner down there. He fed them pizza half their life. Okay?
Right.
You know, they vote for him because he fed them pizza half their life. It's got nothing to do with whether they're good commissioners or not. Then the other commissioner down there, well, her husband was the county clerk for 20 or 30, 40 years. I'm not sure. And then people vote her in. Mainly because of that. Again, it has nothing to do whether she's a good commissioner or not. And I'm not making a judgment saying that one. I'm just saying that's why people vote for people like that. And I'm sure it goes on in other districts where you heard me on this show for the last 2 or 3 years. And even though when I was on the RL show, saying quit voting for people just because you like them. Find out whether they know anything about what they're talking about or not.
They but you know, their oppositions are usually not no better. That's right. Hey, we've got to get more times in these games.
Right.
You know, it's tougher in these little rural communities like we live in.
Yeah.
All these small counties and stuff like this, and because there's the benefit to the people that run should be the benefit of helping your community,
right,
helping your fellow man, and helping younger people. But they don't look at it. Everybody's a me thing.
It is.
It's a sad thing, but I don't see it getting no better no time soon. But
yeah.
I was just going to see if you knew the answer to that one question. I quit yabbling and let you get up here and see if you...
Well, as far as I know, the citizens have to vote that half-cent tax increase in. County Commission can't do it.
Well, why don't you get on them to bring it up again? And
well, and I can tell you what, you need to call Marie Ayers, okay? Because I know Marie Ayers has been pushing, let's have a special election just for that. And she's got to, you know, I'm against spending the $35,000 it takes to do it, okay? Because if they have a special election just for that issue, it's going to cost $35,000, okay? But the point is, Mr. Slusher pointed this out to me, and something I didn't think about myself. It took my old buddy, Mr. Slusher, to say, hey, if you have that in an off election, half the people that are against it ain't going to go vote.
That's probably the truth.
You know, so the people that are for it probably going to be the ones go vote, and it'll make it in. And Marie's probably got a good idea of doing that. Why not do it one time and try it and see if it works? Because the other 2 times, it was on at the regular elections and it got voted down.
Right, exactly. I mean, so that's a good idea and a good start for right there.
That's a good starting point, so.
We piss away $35,000
Yeah.
for this county all the time on everything.
Right. Well, and if we want more money for roads and all that, because the last time it came out, they said half the money's gonna go to the road department. Hey, won't you folks start meandering on in here since all 3 of you here? Let's get started. So,
You ain't got a poker game starting.
no, I got guests coming in, so,
Okay, well, I'll quit yapping and let you get together.
okay. Thank you, buddy.
See you now.
So, we're gonna take this other call. You're on the air.
Hey, Jerry,
Hey, buddy.
on that sales tax you're all discussing,
Okay.
the last time that this came up, if I remember
Come on
correctly.
in and sit, hold on a minute. Come on in and sit down. We're gonna get adjusted while you're talking. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, the last time this came up, the breakdown on it, the county doesn't get the lion's share of the sales tax. Am I correct?
I think the county gets all of it on that half cent. If the county votes that in, the county gets all of it.
I seriously doubt that, I believe, because whenever they put it up before, they said that the highway department was going to get all of it. And then when they actually broke it down, the city of La Follette, Jellicoe, Jacksboro, and even Lake City gets part of it.
Well, they get a small part of it. They did, but somebody indicated, it doesn't go to the state. I misunderstood what you're saying. It doesn't go to the state. It all stays local.
But it doesn't go to the county, I mean, the lion's share.
Well, no, there's state laws that said you have to give some of it off to these other, and I think the school board actually is mandated. The school board gets part of it too.
Well, that's what's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I misunderstood. I thought you said some of the money actually goes back to the state, but not on that half cent. If we vote that half cent, it all stays local.
I don't think all of it does. I still think a portion of it still goes to the state, just like state sales tax. There is a portion for handling or whatever that goes back anyhow.
Okay, well, I'll find out before next week. I'll find out the answer to that.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, buddy. Okay, folks, we're going to talk about the school department a little bit. The biggest thing I'm interested in, and you all talk about whatever you want to, but I'm interested in the summer feeding program, because I'm just excited about that we're doing that. And you all can let us know how that works. I don't know where it's at and all that. So I'm gonna try to get these titles right. I've got Director of Schools, or is it Director of Education? Now, somebody told me Director of Education. That's not right, is it?
No, I think it's Director of Schools.
Director of Schools, Larry Nidifer.
Vicki Woodard.
Vicki Woodard, Director of Food Services, Supervisor of Food Services, Supervisor of Food Services. And I've got Johnny, I'm not gonna do what I was, Johnny Bruce, Coordinator of Coordinated School Health. And plus, there's a lot of other stuff goes along with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now it's hot in here, folks, and I've been traveling all day, so I was gonna clean up and all that. I overslept. I almost missed the show. So, but anyway, so who wants to take off? Somebody let me know about
I'll take off.
and you can talk about what you want to, but I want to know about this summer feeding program.
Okay. I want to take off with Miss Vicki can speak about the summer feeding program, but also when she gets finished with that, she needs to sort of go into the community feeding of our children, the meals at breakfast, dinner, and after school snacks. She can also,
Right.
she worked on that for 2 years, so I'll
Right.
just turn her loose on all that. She's got some numbers for you and what all's going on.
Yeah, I asked her to bring one set of numbers, and then, is it over $1 million?
It is not over a million.
It's not over a
I
million.
have it, but that's gonna be our goal.
Well, see, I thought it was over $1 million, because I thought if you're feeding them all lunch, and you're feeding at least half of them breakfast, my logic told me that had to be over $1 million, if you're talking about 5,000.
Sure, that was the thing about it too. Once Ms. Vicki started the
Now, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Put the mic over here.
They can hear me, you know that, Johnny.
With our feeding program, we saw a drastic increase in our breakfast participation, and our lunch participation, and it's all due to the fact of this lady right here.
Okay.
She has done just an outstanding job.
Okay. Tell me what we got, Miss Vicki.
Let me start off first with summer feeding, because
Okay.
that's what we're here in right now.
Right.
This program started Monday. We've been doing this for several years in Campbell County.
Okay,
But basically, this is a program that is operated still through our National School Lunch and Breakfast Program, through our
Okay.
state department. And we go out to wherever we can find groups of children, and we feed them a meal. It can be up to 2 meals a day at any one site.
now you go out to
We go out to different places.
different, okay,
And I brought the schedule because we go from Splash Park, Alexander Circle, Pleasant Ridge, then we have some on the Jellicoe side, so we have a schedule.
oh, so this is a traveling thing, it's not
It is.
it's not set at one place and they have to come to you.
No, it isn't.
This thing is, so we've got, and you folks in Jellicoe are not being left out either. So, because a lot of times folks in Jellicoe say they don't care about us, but, let me read this for you. La Follette Recreation Center at the Splash Park from 12:30 to 1,
Monday through Friday. This is all Monday through.
Monday through Friday, okay? And they can, these kids, it doesn't matter
Children.
what age they are.
Children 18 years old and under.
18-year-old and
The
under.
program says ages 2 to 18 because they figure under 2 can't really eat a meal, but
Right.
we will take care of those children too, 18 and under.
Okay,
And the program says you do not have to fill out anything, you don't have to have a certain income. You come to the site, you eat the lunch at the site, and that's all the requirement.
that's all required, just come and eat.
Yep.
Just come and get your belly full.
That's right.
You know, I'm partial to that. By the way, did I see something out there for me that I don't see it on the table?
Let me go get that.
You go get that.
Mr. Challow, one thing I want to tell you, this program is awesome for children in the summer, and I'll tell you one reason it is, we feed children, but we have people in this county in school nutrition, our school nutrition staff cares about children.
They do. I've talked to some of them. They do. What we got here? They brought me something, folks. I just wanted to see what it was. I saw Mr. Bruce standing out there holding up something, and he didn't bring it in with me. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna assume Miss Woodard did this, not Johnny.
I make those stories.
No, I don't want Johnny's. No. We'll throw them out on the way home. Johnny made them. Miss Woodard made them. I've eaten her cooking before, folks. It's good stuff. And the staff. I've ate the staff.
Yes.
You know, they fix some good stuff. It's not like they throw a bunch of slop together. I've ate at the schools and I've ate at different programs,
Well,
and it's
also,
good
I
food.
brought you the menus for summer feeding, so if somebody does want to know more about that.
That is a balanced meal.
And our meals in summer feeding, as throughout the year, meet all the USDA requirements. In fact, 2.5 years ago, we worked when the new Hungry Kids program came out, and Mr.
Well, I
Rich
need to
helped me
come home from work for this.
But I mean, we worked very hard, and I don't mean me and just me and Johnny. It was everybody in school nutrition. We
Okay.
received 6 cents extra just because we meet the USDA requirements.
Okay, that's what pays for this? Is
We get the USDA reimbursements pretty much pays for
Okay.
our community eligibility program.
Okay, so, and that's one thing I wanted to point out, folks. I'll jump around sometimes, okay? How many meals did we feed? I asked Miss Woodard to bring me how many meals did Campbell County school system feed this year in all of the schools?
Okay, for this year, we had 159 days of school where we served meals, 704,341 lunches,
Okay,
452,639 breakfasts.
well, that's over 1 million then. That's what I was thinking. Lunch and
Together.
breakfast, that's over 1 million.
But we want it to be 1 million for each one.
Okay. So we had, see, I was thinking it was over 1 million, so I was right. So at our school system, and I'm getting to a point here, at our school system, 704,341 lunches, 452,639 breakfasts. How much did this cost the parents and kids in the school system?
No opinion.
Didn't cost them a dime. Thanks to the work these folks are doing, okay? It didn't cost parents or kids one penny, and I'm assuming this is gonna be on next year too?
It is. We have this program for 4 years
Have this program for 4 years.
and
okay?
hopefully
And
continue.
hopefully it'll go on after that.
This is how much we've spent this year in food and non-food items.
This right here
Uh-huh.
is what, okay. They've spent almost $1.2 million, okay, in just the food.
And one reason, because one of our big goals, and I work with Mr. Bruce on this with Coordinate School Health, our big goals have been teaching children to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. And it's to help kids learn to make good food choices so that they don't have the diseases that we're
Right.
hearing about in the news.
Right,
And
okay.
one of the reasons is if they'll eat healthy foods.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Nightford.
And these healthy snacks, 62,314 are served to basketball camps, Bible schools, after-school programs.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes, so.
After-school snacks.
After school snacks.
It's if band meets, those kids, when they get through band practice, ROTC, they can come by somewhere and get a snack.
We even do late bus riders. They sit in the
Late bus
place and we
riders.
take them a snack.
So, folks, the reason I wanted them to come in and talk about this is, we know that we live in a county where the finances of the citizen is not the best in the world, okay? But through the work that these folks are doing, you can get your children fed. There's a lot of kids, we hear it all the time, and I know it's true. There are some kids that don't get a good meal before they go to school and don't have the finances to pay for a good meal at school if they had to pay for it. But now the way they've worked this thing out, they don't have to, and they can get a good meal before and during school and have an afternoon snack if they want to come by and get it. And it don't cost a dime.
Sure, also students that come late in the mornings.
Right,
We have a cart there with a cafeteria personnel
right,
that will provide that child with a breakfast.
right.
Even though they're late for school, they still get breakfast.
We
They
just
get
call it our grab and go breakfast. And I will tell you, with this CEP program now where all the children can get a meal at no charge,
Right.
it is called Community Eligibility, and it has actually increased our participation this year for lunch
Okay.
12%. It's increased our breakfast 26%. And one of the reasons breakfast is because of this grab and go breakfast that Mr. Bruce has helped me with. And,
Okay.
but one of our things is, you can see this is an average a day of what we feed in lunch.
Okay.
4,430.
Okay.
And then you can see the average for breakfast. We want to boost that up. We want to let parents know more that we will feed their children breakfast
Right.
and lunch and a snack. And we want to. It just strengthens our programs.
Well, and me and Mr. Bruce have talked about this before. And caller, I know I see you calling, but we got a lot of information here we're going to get through before we take any calls. Me and Mr. Bruce, I've said in his office, we've talked about this before. And logically, it works, but Johnny has told me that the numbers show that when these kids get a good breakfast, when they come into school, they do better in school. Logic tells you that, but there's document proof to show you that, because they're feeding these kids, and like I said, if somebody gets there late, there's somebody standing there ready to hand them a breakfast when they come through the door, if they haven't ate. Of course, there's nothing you can do to force them to take it, but it's there and it's free. That's the big thing, folks. The way they've worked this out, it doesn't cost anything. And that's what I'm proud about as far as what they're doing. And I've got, can I keep these?
Yes.
I can keep, okay. I've got the menus here. I can tell you I'd eat this. Is this something I'd eat? I'm telling you it is.
Mr. Chappell, during the year, we do put our menus on our web page,
Okay.
on the county web page.
And that is, what we might do next year? We get a sign made up where I'll put up here, tell people how to get to your webpage. It can be up here.
That'd be
And
great.
and we'll just leave it up there, and people can go every week when I do my show, and then, maybe get some more people looking at that website. And, but if you Google Campbell County, Tennessee schools, it should take you to it, if you Google that site. So it should take you to it. So, but you folks really need to, and plus, on your website, since you mentioned that, just about everything you want to know as far as policies, procedures, and everything's on that site, isn't it, Mr. Knopfler? Everything you want to know about what's going on as far as, there's bullying, procedures or what would you call it, regulations,
All the policies and procedures.
policies and procedures, safety procedure. I know Johnny's involved in the safety issues in school. And, I'm sure there's something for everything. Oh, I've looked at the website. There's something for everything on that website.
Well, and I think one of the biggest things, our emails are listed, so if someone has a question, they can email.
Right. So, yeah, if you want to need to get one of these folks, even after the show, go to the county schools website page. And like Mr. Woodard just said, all of their email addresses is on there. And they'll get back to you in a timely fashion, So I know they have, when I've called and asked, they're all time in meetings or doing something. So, and I like that. The fact that, if you call in there and let's say I called 5 times and the person I was looking for, I can always catch them. That means they ain't doing nothing, But when I call in there and they say, well, they're meeting with this one, they're meeting with them, they'll get back to me. They've always got back to me. That tells me they're doing something, they're working, So, but I'm just tickled with this. Let me go back to, you folks know how I do. I jump around. I apologize about that. I want to go back to where they actually feed these folks. It's at the Follett Recreation Center to Splash Park from 12:30 to 1. The Follett Housing Authority at Alexander Circle, 11:15 to 11:45. Village Apartments from 11:55 to 12:15. Pleasant Ridge Apartments, 11:15 to 11:40. Campbell County High School, 11:30 to 12:30. Lonis B. Young Park, White Bridge Park, 11:45 to 12:15. So that tells me all this is going at the same time. You've got a bunch of different crews out there.
Yes, we do.
It ain't just one crew and one truck riding around. There's a bunch of different folks. Then we go up to Jellicoe. Jellicoe High School, 11:30 to 12. Myrtle Street Housing Authority, 12 to 12:20. Harding Street Housing Authority, 11 to 11:20. Logan Street Authority, 11:30 to 11:50. Newcomb Baptist Church, 12:30 to 1. Jellicoe Elementary, 11:30 to 12. And breakfast is served at Campbell County High School from 8 to 8:30, and at Jellicoe High School from 8 to 8:30. So, what I see also here, folks, is with this program, not only are we feeding the kids, we're employing some people in the summertime that ordinarily are not employed.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
That is
Some
the second reason.
school office, one of the benefits here, some school cafeteria folks that ordinarily be laid off during the summer just because of the nature of the school business, not being mean, it's just the nature of the schools, or actually have jobs during the summertime. So a lot of good benefits going on here. And to me, the biggest thing about it is your kids can get a really good meal, 2 good meals, even in the summertime. And folks, when you go up to the cash register, they say no charge. No charge. That's what I like, no charge. Because we all know that if you had to pay $1 or $2 or $3, there'd be people not come. But since it's free, every one of you out there should take advantage of it. If I was in town, I was under 18, unfortunately I'm not. I might go take advantage of some of this. But I've got a, do you care if I put this on the internet?
I would love to.
I've got a web page. Most of you know I've got a web page. It don't fit with this, but it's called Campbell County Arrest. I'm going to put this stuff on there probably, it'll take me a couple of days because I've been traveling and I've got to catch up. But I'm going to put all this stuff on there in the next few days so you folks can read this and see what's going on. And hopefully we'll get some other folks participating in these programs,
And one other thing I'd like to say about community eligibility during the year, we worked hard on putting this together because it was kind of a challenge because it isn't saying the government's going to give us 100% of reimbursement. It was based on certain criteria that USDA set up.
Okay.
So Mr. Nynford, Mr. Poston, and the Board of Education all worked with me, Mr. Marlowe, and we said, we think this is worth the chance, and it has proved successful this year.
Right.
It is only successful if the children eat,
Yeah.
And if we can continue to increase that, and because of my staff, because they make it work.
The staff makes it work, but the children have to participate,
They do.
okay? You have to participate to take advantage of the program and for the program to continue. Because just like any other government program, well, some of them, they don't care where you participate, they'll throw the money away anyway. But this program, it sounds to me like the more participation, the longer the chance we got to keep in the
Well,
program.
I tell you how school nutrition is different than a lot of departments is that we don't get the first penny until we feed a meal.
Okay,
And that's how we're different.
so you got to feed it first and then we get the money back.
Yes.
Okay, so the more of you that go out there and take advantage of this program, the better the chances are we're gonna get all of our money back and continue on the program, which, you know, folks, and, you know, I've been in their offices, folks, and I've seen how hard they work to get these programs for your children. And yeah, we've sat here and I've fussed about it, and they all know it. I've fussed about some of the things that I don't like about the school program and some of the things I don't like about the county. And we brought up some issues, but when I heard about this issue, it was just too important for me to pass this by. I felt like you folks out there needed to know about this, and you all need to participate in this, because I can't stress enough, it does not cost you one dime. And these folks are working hard, and we've got cafeteria workers that are being employed, being paid, being employed, that normally are laid off during the summertime, again, just because of the nature of the schools. So this is I don't see any negatives in this. This is a great program that they've been able to get for our county and for our school system. So, and I'll have more about this, and I'll put all this on Facebook page. It's a Facebook page called Campbell County Arrest. Go to it, and I'll put all this stuff on there so you all can read it, okay? You got anything else you want to bring up? I know we talked, and you said you had something else you wanted to bring up. I thought you did. About the coordinated school health, did you?
We have a wellness policy in our county.
Is that what it is, wellness
that we're
policy?
going to be updating.
Okay.
We welcome input from the community, you know, for our wellness program, because of, I mean, it's very important to us. We teach children to make healthy food choices.
Right.
And to make themselves healthy.
And just to reiterate on that right there, Jerry, if anyone would like to be a part of our team, you know, when we start redoing the wellness policy, please, you know, just give us a call. Let us know you'd like to be part of it. We'll let you know when we're meeting, and we welcome input.
Okay, and that goes back to it, folks. Again, that goes back to Mr. Bruce and Ms. Woodard, and I know Mr. Nifer, we've talked about this before, getting input back from the citizens. I've been going to meetings for years, okay? But it doesn't do any good for me to go to a meeting. Well, it does some good, but it doesn't do it if you folks don't show up, okay? I was involved in the director of education search where Mr. Nifer just was hired as the director of schools. I said that, director of education, director of schools. There's very few people besides the ones involved that was there, you know, and every one of these meetings was open to the public, okay? But there were very few people there. I tried to get you folks to talk about it on my show for 2 weeks. You didn't want to talk about the director of schools, but now when we talk about yard sales, the phone didn't stop ringing for 2 weeks, okay? So you folks got to get involved in what's going on in the school system to make the school system better. Is that correct? That's my assumption. That's my opinion.
Well, I wanted to make sure parents understood that their children can get a breakfast and a lunch and
Right.
a snack that they do not have to pay for.
Well, yeah, breakfast, lunch, and a snack during the school year. Now here, it's just breakfast and lunch, right?
That's correct.
Breakfast, in the summertime, breakfast and lunch. And I imagine if they have any left over, they maybe take some with them. I
We
don't
do
know
have
how
snack
that works.
we do have snack programs in some areas if they're just
Okay.
doing a snack. The USDA will let you do up to 2 meals a day in the summer program.
Okay, up to 2 minutes. And then during the school season, folks, your kids can be well fed and it just don't cost nothing. And I think as the school year comes along, we're gonna do this again, right? You didn't know that, did you? As the school year cranks up, I asked Ms. Woodard before you got hired. I had asked Ms. Woodard about this, okay? Before you got
I
hired.
didn't know what we were gonna start over.
Okay. when the school year starts
Yeah,
over.
I
When the
know.
school year starts over, and they get back into the feeding program for the students during the school year, I asked Ms. Woodard, we talked about this before Mr. Nifer was hired as director of schools. We talked about this a long time ago, because it's just, my son went to Anderson County High School, graduated this year. We paid for his lunch every day. It cost a lot of money, you folks know that, to feed your kids lunch, and especially if they were taking care of breakfast and a snack, it cost a lot of money out of your pockets. And the big thing is this just don't cost, folks. I can't iterate that enough. This just does not cost you one penny, and it's gonna happen next year. We're gonna feed you breakfast, we're gonna feed you lunch, and then if you stay after school, we're gonna get you a snack. It just makes for an all-around better school system. Better, the kids pay attention in class more. They can learn better. It just makes for a better situation. This, to me, it goes a long ways to helping improve our education. Not just the food program, it helps the overall education.
Jerry, you're giving us an opportunity to get it out to the public.
Yeah.
Earlier in the year, Mr. Nifer and I went to the Rotary and spoke at the Rotary. And I spoke about the lunch program, the free lunch.
Right.
And one of the gentlemen sitting there, and he said, "How long have you all had this program?" I said, "All year."
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh, I can't wait to get home." Evidently, he'd been giving.
Mr. Mercy told me about this one parent, said he'd been giving his kid lunch money all year. This parent didn't know the lunches were free.
But now we will sell them extra food if they have money.
Okay.
Also, Joe, you were talking about the coordinated school health. We have updated our letter that we'll be sending out to parents on doing our BMIs, that's body mass index. The thing about it is, this also is free. It's free hearing and vision, screenings, blood pressure. This is all free. All we ask the parent to do is to sign the form and get it back to us, and we'll take care of that.
He's talking about stuff I'd fail if I went to all of it, folks.
Coach Bruce will go to, we'll take his corps of nurses that we have in the county.
Okay.
Plus, he'll go down to vocational school, and the LPN classes, they're being trained, of course, in blood pressure and so on, and how to keep charts. He may roll 30 or 40 nurses and student nurses into a school. And a child's vision can change within a year, and they're not experts, but if you get in front of the little chart like we did
Right.
50 years ago and
Right.
they can't see it, then we know to refer to parents.
Well, and they know that most of the time the kids won't, just out of experience, folks, most of the time the kids won't say anything about it, and their education is suffering because they can't see the board.
You'll be amazed at the number of kids that come and you're sitting there and they're failing the eye test,
Yeah.
and you'll ask the question, "Do you wear glasses?" "Yes." "Where's your glasses?"
Where they at?
They're either at home or in the classroom.
Right.
Go back and get them,
Yeah.
and come back in.
Right, and I know that with my youngest son, we found out, I think in middle school up here, he went to Jacksboro Middle School, we found out in middle school that he was having trouble seeing the board. And one of his teachers finally figured it out, what was going on, because he didn't say anything to us, he was making good grades, but he was struggling. And one of the teachers found it out at Jacksboro Middle School, and we took him for an eye test and found out that, yeah, he needed glasses. And so he had them from that point on. And folks, and the reason I'm pointing this out, Mr. Bruce, Ms. Woodard, Mr. Nifer, a lot of good things going on in our school system that's been going on, and we want to point some of that out to you. And there's a lot of improvements that as these things build and get better, our education is going to get better, the kids' education is going to get better. But it goes back to this, kids have to participate, and moms and daddies have to get involved.
And I'm a mother. I know how it is to send your little one off to school.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you that the cafeteria staff at each one of the schools, they will take care of your child.
Right. So, they get, again, because we're running out of time, I want to go over this one more time. They don't have to sign up for anything. No paperwork, nothing. Is there any kind of the card or anything they have that they swipe when they go through that you have to let
For
you know?
summer feeding, nothing, they just have to
Okay.
stay there and eat.
Okay, and even at the school, when they go to school, do they have, there's some kind of little card they have, because you have to register how many meals you're serving,
They
right?
type in their ID number.
They type in an ID number, because they have to know how many meals they're serving, folks.
And some schools just use a clicker.
Okay, it's not that they're trying to get any information, and all that. They need to know these numbers right here, that we've served over, almost 1.2 million meals between breakfast and lunch at the schools this year, okay? They need to know those numbers, so they can report, so we can stay in these programs. There's qualifications to stay in these programs, and these folks want to keep the programs for our children.
That's a lot of boxes of meal.
That's a lot, that's a lot of meals, and, you know, I'm seeing here, Monday and Wednesday and Thursday will be my days. We got chicken filet sandwich, we got chicken nugget meal, and we got a pizza meal. So, and then we got a hoagie sandwich one day, and then we got a corn dog meal. And there's fruits and vegetables and drinks. You know, all that stuff is on here. I'm gonna have this on my Facebook page, Campbell County Arrest, before the weekend's out, and let you folks know. You'll be able to see the schedule of where they're at. You know, and you need to be there for them time frames, you know, because I mean, I'm sure they're on a limited schedule. They have to be
Yes.
at these time frames, you know, so, you know, and if you miss, they can't come back at 1:30 and feed you. Unfortunately, they just can't do that.
One of the reasons is our biggest concern this summer is food safety. We keep the food in the right temperatures, so we have to watch time.
Right. Yeah, so, well, yeah, because these are hot meals.
And some hot and some cold.
Okay, some cold, but it all looks, everything, I mean, looks like, well, hoagie sandwich, I guess, can be cold. The rest of them look like they should need to be served at least warm.
And we do vacation Bible schools also.
Oh, okay. Vacation Bible school. So if a church,
Champs.
Basketball camps.
so if a church was having a vacation Bible school,
They contact my office.
okay, so if,
At least a week before your Bible school starts.
so if you're having a Bible school out there and you need help feeding your children, contact Miss Woodard at the school system, and she can set it up where these folks can come to your Bible school and help feed your children at the Bible. You know, I missed that somewhere along the line. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Anywhere we have a group of children,
Anywhere you have a group of
we
children,
just gotta stay there and eat it.
it's gotta stay there needed. So if you'll call or email or call the school system, school department, and get a hold of Miss Woodard, she can go down the line with these folks, Mr. Nightford, Mr. Bruce, and they can all set that up and get your children fed. So, folks, I think this is a great program. I think it's great for these folks to be working on this and get this done for your children. You know, again, I'll go back to the point where you all watch the show. A lot of times we'll talk about negative things happening in the county. There's no negatives here. I don't see, there's no problems here.
This is a very positive.
This is a very positive program. And I mean, what mom and daddy out there, even if you are struggling financially, wouldn't want to see your children go have a free meal. You know, we got a lot of folks in this county that struggle financially, and there's no point in not talking about it because it's a fact. Go get your children out to one of these programs and get them fed. You know, if they have to walk down there, just send them down there to, you know, get them fed, get them 2 good meals a day, at least, you know. There's just no negatives here. So, anything else? I think we're about to run out of time. I was expecting to see honeybee in there.
Well, and I would say, I mean, it doesn't even matter if the wealthiest people use your money to help something else and let them eat
Right.
free with us.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is, yeah, you know, I made that statement. This is not restricted to just folks that don't have the finances to send them down there, okay? Even if you are somebody that has finances, let's say a mom and dad are out working, you know, the children can go down there and get fed, okay? Hopefully mom and dads are both out there working, making a good living for your family, but your children still got somewhere to go eat instead of sitting at home eating a bologna sandwich. You know, you got somewhere to go eat, and I'm looking at these folks, these are good meals, you know. Honeybee, we ready?
We got about 30 seconds.
Okay, so, Mr. Nyberg, I didn't get you to talk more than you did, but
That's
I
all right.
wanted to know
You
about
got
these
the
food.
expert right here.
I wanted to know about these
Yeah,
food
thank
programs. One of these days, I'm gonna get Mr. Bruce on here in his other capacity, and we're gonna grill him. So, folks, remember the folks at Vital Care and the folks at Jacksboro Metals. I appreciate you. And Mr. Slusher's probably gonna be on with me next week. We got a big issue. You ain't gonna wanna miss it. See you next week.
When every second counts, count